Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today we have another amazing roundtable. The cast and crew of the film Fighting for Love, which can be seen right now on Tubi, Google Play, and Prime Video. Thank you all for joining. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good, good.
Doing
Awesome.
great. Thanks for having us.
And you guys all star in Fight for Love. If you could, please go around the room virtually and introduce yourself with the character, with who you are, and the character that you play.
My name is Steven Romero. I play Romero. I'm the antagonist in the film.
Hi, my name is Osmara, and I play Lydia.
And Kimani.
Hi, my name's Kimani Bradley, and I play Jet Pierce.
All right.
I see you didn't say your last name. It's okay, though. It's fine.
Because it's questionable disclosure.
Hey, there's plenty of actors who go by just their first name, so that's awesome. Yeah. Without giving away the film, can you tell me what the film is about in a nutshell?
Ooh, Osmara, you go first.
I think it's a love story with fighting involved. It's not so much a fight movie, but he does happen to be a fighter. But I feel like it's more so a love story and the story behind their marriage, which is in trouble. And so yeah.
Okay. And you play the wife of Jet, right?
Yes.
And what are some of the trials and tribulations that you go through in the film?
So Lydia is a struggling realtor. She hasn't sold houses for a while. She's married to Jet. Jet wants to be a fighter, an underground fighter, which is not bringing in the money right now at the moment. They have a daughter, so she's, concerned about not being able to provide for her and, the mortgage and the house. And she's just going through a lot of stress. Not only is her marriage falling apart, but she can't, bring food to the table. She's mainly the breadwinner in the house right now, so it all falls on her. So the whole film is her pretty much just being very stressed and under a lot of pressure.
Right.
So.
And Kamani, you played Jet Pierce, right?
Yes, sir.
And tell me a little bit about your role.
Um, Man, so Jet is, he's a believer. He believes in who he is. He believes in his fight, and he believes he knows what he's doing in regards to getting back in that ring and doing what he has to do for his family. Leah might not see it at the time, but Jet, he's tunnel vision. He's like, look, I have to do this. Especially when he finds out about Romero's, like, no, I have no other choice but to do this. You know what I mean? So for him, that's all it's about. Like, he knows what's at stake, with losing his family if he doesn't come through. But, he's ready, and, he's ready. So I'll just put it like that.
All right. And Steven, you play Romero, which is somewhat of an antagonist. Can you tell us a little bit about your role in the film?
Absolutely. So I play the big brother. I play the big brother to his only sister, who they were both raised by a single mom. And I know that she's in love with the person she's with, and I don't approve. My character doesn't approve of their relationship. He doesn't like the fact that, that Jet isn't, about his business, so to speak. He's not taking care of his wife the way, or my sister the way he should be. Right? So I make sure I let them know throughout the movie that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
And so, being that this is an independent film, it allows for more opportunities for Black and brown leads and supporting roles, as well as having a crew that can be Black and brown. Can you speak to the importance of having more opportunities like this?
I think it's crucial to the growth of the minority representation in the industry, that we take on, that we do it on our own, that we take the initiative to be producers, to be executive producers, to have the actual background that's capable of delivering the quality that our opposition, we'll call it our opposition, being the industry, right? The industry leaders, having the quality that they can't turn away from. We have the numbers, right? Black and brown, we have the numbers in population. We are the number one black and brown are the number one streaming races in the country. In the
Right.
country. So there is no reason that we can't lead an industry like this. You know, I've been listening to people talk about how we're underrepresented in the industry, but I don't
Mhm.
see too many of us helping the rest of us become educated within the industry to help ourselves grow. It's almost like that crabs in a barrel syndrome where they want to see you do good, but never better than they think you should, right?
Right.
Present day, I'm starting to see a lot more people that look like us taking people that look like us to the places we need to be.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And Asmara?
Yeah, I think it's really, really important for, especially for the younger generations, because I know me, myself growing up, like my favorite movie of all time was Selena, because I saw myself being represented on the big screen, which I had never really seen before, when I was growing up. And that movie like changed my life pretty much, because after seeing Selena, I was like, oh my god, like she's like me, she's Mexican American, she looks like me, like, so I felt represented, I felt seen, I felt like, okay, she was able to accomplish, her dreams, like I feel like I can too. And that's where the seed kind of started to plant and to grow, and to like give me the motivation to reach all of the dreams that I've been able to reach.
Right.
And there's still so much that I want to do, but that's kind of my motivation, is honestly like empowering and motivating like younger, Latinas, Mexican Americans out there who might think, well, I can't do it because I don't see myself on screen, I don't see anybody like me doing it. So I think it's super, super, super important. And every time that like a there's a black lead or a Mexican American lead, like I'm always like quick to support and to watch and tell everyone to watch, because if nobody goes to see the movies, they're not gonna keep making the movies. So
Right.
I think it's super important.
Yep.
Right. And to your point, just real quick, um, from what I've gathered, there's not a lot of films that kind of showcase Latin and Hispanic culture,
Right.
with Latin and Hispanic cast. Usually, you guys are in a lot of ways typecast to certain roles,
Yep.
and you never really see anything outside of that. Um, so, how important is it for you guys to be able to expand and take on other roles that don't really typecast you or keep you in a box?
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. I mean, we're typecast, like you're either like, oh, the pretty girl who like the guy cheats with, or you're the maid, or you're, like these stereotypical roles, and we're so much more than that. And I feel like recently I have seen a little bit of more of a change, like the movie Flamin' Hot that came out. They're starting to tell like Latino stories, but I feel like there's just so much more work to do in that area. And because we don't just clean houses, we're not like, like what do you call, like marriage, what do they call them, like relationship breakers, whatever, like, we're so much more than that. And
Right.
we our like our Latino community, like we'll watch action movies, we'll watch comedies, we'll watch like all of these things. So like it's crazy that we're still being, told what we are, when we're just so much more than that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think it needs to change. But I feel like it's kind of going in the right direction. Like for example, I just saw Blue Beetle too, which, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I was so happy.
Great
I was
movie.
so happy. I was like, yes, finally, Latino
Right.
superhero. Like, we've
Right.
never had
Yep.
that. It's
Yep.
huge.
That was a good movie.
Absolutely. It was a really good movie, and not only that, I watched it because it was it spoke from the Latin standpoint, and I had no idea who Blue Beetle was or anything about the story, and I loved it, and thought it was something that was new, fresh, original, and it did well. It did really well. A lot of people went to go see it in theater, and then also a lot of people saw it when it became available for streaming. And to your point, we do need more films like that to where you step outside of that box and showcase, the Latin culture in different arenas.
Yeah.
Um,
Because can you
It's
imagine
definitely
like
a
how many little kids are like little Latino kids are looking like, oh my god, like he looks like me, like I'm a superhero, like
yes,
yep.
it's
yeah,
That's all.
amazing.
My 5-year-old son is obsessed with Blue Beetle. He put away his Spider-Man. He put away his Iron Man to be Blue Beetle. That's what he wears to school, right? And
yeah,
everything his dad put on Blue Beetle every day. So it is important that we have representation that way at those levels in those roles. But
mhm,
again, it takes people like us to bring us there because let's call it what not call it what it's not. There's no free lunch out here. The black culture had to go through it. Look at all the
yeah,
movies in the 60s and 70s where they were portrayed as, drug abusers, drug dealers, gangbangers, all of the slave movies that who else is going to play slaves?
yeah,
Like they didn't cast any Asian
So,
slavery, there weren't Egyptian slaves, there weren't Mexican slaves. You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? So at some point it's going to take people like us doing things like this to put us in positions that we know we can deliver. Does that
mhm,
make sense?
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Um, Kimani, what do you think as far as having more opportunities for Black and Brown, for Black culture, but then not only just Black culture, but having Black and Brown culture come together on film? How important do you think that is? And also, having more roles available for us.
man, I think it's extremely important. So I'm originally from New Orleans. So if you're
Hmm.
familiar with the South and the ways that the South works and stuff like that, and how they do black and white people down there, the discrepancies and everything,
Yep.
this
Yeah,
this opportunity for me was everything. Like it's it's not like I didn't have the the opportunities out there, but they're few and far between. You know what I mean? So it's definitely very, very important because when you think about, well, when I tell a lot of people that I'm from New Orleans, the first thing they're like, "What? Really? You don't have the accent? You're not rough. You're not rugged. You're not threatening." I'm like, "Well, we're not all like that." You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, it's important that people like myself and others that are working hard in this industry to make this stuff happen. We step up and we represent in the way that we can. So for me, I'm very blessed and I'm very thankful to be a part of this cast with not only Crystal and everybody else, but Osmara, Steve, like all of us. We're all new to this. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because Osmara and our stories are kind of like similar with how we it both ended up here in LA with it too. So it's like it's the perfect
right,
opportunity for us with it to really showcase that look, we're not only from this area and you can't typecast us as who this person is or who they are there, that we're here and we're showing you what we can do on a basically on a global level, with it. So I'm praying that more and more people like us get the opportunity to just show the world that it's not just one-sided talent. You know what I mean? There's always something else that we can do. You know what I mean? Like even learning on this film, I didn't think that I was going to be able to cry on cue. I didn't in this movie, but I learned how to afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's things that you just have to go through to learn and experience before you can actually say you're an A-list or whatever. You know what I mean? But
right,
no,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
I definitely appreciate Dana and Steve and everybody involved.
Yeah, and just speaking to your point, for both you and Asmara, this is your first lead role in a film.
Yeah.
Um, how exciting was that to land your first lead roles?
Ladies first.
I mean, for me, it was like I couldn't believe it because this is the story behind my audition. So I was living in Miami at the time, and I saw this casting, this post, and on Actors Access, and I was like, oh my god! Like I was like, this is a role, a dream role. I'm gonna audition. I hear back, I get a call back within. I had to be in LA within like that weekend, I think, and I was like, oh my god, because they were looking for LA locals, obviously. And I was like, I'm gonna go. I literally booked a flight. I went to the callback, and I was like, I did my audition. I killed it. And then I was like, unfortunately, like I don't live here, but I'm willing to, like at my own expense, book a flight here and just stay here for the remainder of the shoot, whatever. And they were like, we were looking for LA locals, and I was like, so I
Wow.
was kind of just praying that they would just see past that and just give me a chance. And they did, and that's what prompted me to actually move to LA. So I literally like drove across the country, shot
Wow.
this film, and I started my journey here in LA because of it, pretty much. So I'm so grateful. I will forever be grateful for this project, for these people who literally, like, we only had what, like 8 9 days on set, for me at least, and they became like family, and it was just like such a beautiful like dynamic, and just we all became just like family, really. So I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. That is amazing. That you actually followed your dreams and you picked up and left Miami and came straight to LA, to pursue that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kamani, what about you with the lead role? How excited were you when you found out that you had the part?
Um, I think I cried. I think I cried. I was super excited, man. It's I've been working in the industry for a while. I started out as a background extra, and working my way up. So for me, being the first lead role, especially my first year out in LA, like I had been in LA for about 4 months. And to be honest with you, I was actually living out of a hotel at the time, bro. So
Wow.
it was crazy for me. It was like everything that I needed to prove that I belonged in town. You know what I'm saying? Because I like we didn't know like our situation. We wasn't supposed to be where we were at the time, like in the hotel and stuff. So it was like for us, we were like on the fence and everything. So I booked the role, and it just confirmed it for me after that. It was like, all right, look, don't go nowhere. This is where you got to be. This is your first lead, like so. I was yeah, super super thankful, super blessed, man, and humbled. I was very humbled.
That's dope, man. Steven, so
Yes,
to my knowledge, you are one of the producers on the film.
correct.
Can you speak to what your role was as the producer, outside of, of course, you had your acting role, but what did you do on set as the producer?
Oh wow. I had to bring some authenticity because we are we're not a it's not a I tell everybody this is not a fight movie. This movie it's a love story that happens to have fighters in it. This
Right.
is to me this is just I mean it's the epitome of a love story. A guy trying to save his marriage. He's got an opposition, right? So some of my roles were to I brought in some friends of mine that my friend David Dunn became the fight choreographer. We taught Kimani how to throw a punch. We taught him how to take a punch. We taught him how to fall. I've been training mixed martial arts since like 2003, and
Yeah.
so coincidentally, for this to be my first movie and to have MMA involved in it,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
done, I'm in. So I was able to provide, for most of the fight scenes, the choreography, all of the background stuff you see in the fight scenes, like my guys provided that stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
Walk me through a little bit of I guess how long or how much time did you guys have to train, and then secondly, when you're going through that choreography of the fighting, how does all that work?
There were some complexities. We didn't have a lot of time. I don't remember how many
I
Saturdays we
think
did. It might have been three.
about three.
It might have been
Yes,
three.
about
It might
three.
have been three Saturdays. Um, but thankfully we had, and I think it's Nate's last name is Gaston, right?
hmm
I think so.
Nate Gaston. I think that's the correct pronunciation. I'm not 100% sure, but he's like a world-renowned kickboxing champion, and he came in and understood mixed martial arts and the transitions. In fighting, especially mixed martial arts, there's a lot of transitions. From
Yeah.
standing to the ground to takedowns to defending takedowns to throwing a punch, etc. So for people that have trained, play sparring with each other is kind of, there's some fluidity to it. But when
Mhm.
you introduce an actor who's never really fought mixed martial arts before, and he's a complete athlete, Kamani, I give you, I mean, the utmost respect, man. You really learned this so fast.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was nonstop with the willingness to understand the body movements. You
Mhm.
know how you're supposed to throw a punch, how you take a punch, how you're supposed to throw a kick. There's nothing more awkward than watching somebody throw a kick that's never thrown a kick before. And Kamani did really well. He did really well, man. So it was we had very short time to answer your question, but overall I'm very proud of the way it came out.
Oh yeah, and I watched the film, and I can tell you guys, first and foremost, the film is very dope. I thought it was great, and the choreography of the fight scenes, everything was believable. It didn't look, inauthentic or fake or corny. It actually looked it. You
Yes.
guys did your job, and the film is polished, in my opinion. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I told the same thing to Crystal. I even like the story. I have not told her that, but I told her that I love the way the film came out. Can you guys speak to the talent that is Crystal Ellis and her writing and putting these characters together to make this film?
Oh my God. I was blown away. I mean, I was blown away even just reading my sides for my audition. And I was like, oh my God, like, I need to play this role. Like, I was obsessed. And then when I booked it, she sent me the whole script and I cried. I was like, this is beautiful. Like, I feel so blessed, so honored to be like a part of it. And yeah, I think she's amazing. I think she's very talented, and I think she is only getting started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
And
true.
Absolutely.
I'll go.
she didn't know, I'm sorry, she didn't know I was going to ask this question. So yeah, please feel free to give her more kudos, man.
She really is. When she sent me the summarization of the script,
Mhm.
someone who was raised in a predominantly Latino neighborhood, I didn't meet
Mhm.
anybody black till I was 12, and that person's still my best friend till this day. Right? Like
Wow.
I understand what it means to grow up with black and brown. So when I read a script, I'm thinking, all right, of course you're looking for the nuances that don't make sense. You're like,
Right.
well, they would never interact that way, right?
Mhm.
I have cousins of mine that have interracial relationships and mixed race kids,
Yeah.
from when we were growing up. So I knew exact when I read this, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. I'm like, I know this guy. I know his
Hmm.
quarrels. Him and
Right.
Kamani, I mean, we can't get into too much detail, but Jet and Romero, they were close friends at one point. At one point they were tight, and then they had a falling out, right?
Right.
There's so many real. This movie was so real for me as far as the dynamic of the relationships. You know what I mean? The mixed race relationships. There was nothing odd about it. There was nothing abnormal about it. It was just another family,
Right.
right? Just another family with the same problems that every other family has dealt with before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the same problems, but you know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
it's very real and it's relatable, and
That's exactly it.
it also speaks to the other cast members, the mother and the mother daughter dynamic,
Wow.
and
Wow.
also the mother and um, the mother in law dynamic. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. When
You
Kimani
talking about
Jet,
Jet? You talking about Jet?
yeah,
No, that's just
Yeah.
Jet's mama. You ain't got to say
Yeah.
mother-in-law. That's just
Yeah.
Jet's mom.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
right.
She
It's my
mom
mom.
mom makes it very clear that those are her kids.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And then even just the parental aspect, the way you guys treated your daughter in the film, and the way your daughter connected to you guys, everything was it was seamless, and it seemed natural, and it seemed authentic.
Thank
Um,
you.
in my personal opinion.
Thank you.
I feel like Lydia's relationship with her daughter wasn't, she has a closer bond with her dad.
For
And it's
sure. And
also, like
and her
I
deal.
said,
Hey,
Right,
like I said, Lydia, the way I saw her is she was under so much stress that she couldn't give her the attention that she wanted to give her, and she was a little bit envious of the relationship that they had because it's like,
Yeah.
they're always like doing these little handshakes, doing these little things, and she's like, I don't have that, but because I'm always working because I
Right.
have to provide for my family.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, but
Telling
yeah.
about a day at school and stuff.
So there's another dynamic in this film, where each character kind of has to do what they have to do in order to make ends meet, whether that be fighting, um, drug money, that kind of thing. Going behind your
Getting a
back,
co-signer.
right? Getting behind, going behind your partner's back with your boss,
Ouch. You know I can
You
take care of all
know,
that, right? You know I can take care of all that, right?
Man, man.
Dion.
That's my
Yeah.
boy.
It was in my opinion, it was an overall good story. Great film. Can we talk a little bit about some of the other cast members? Like, do you guys know like how the rest of the cast came together?
I mean, yes. Can we talk about them because they were so amazing? Like
Sure.
Maddie, she plays my mom,
Hmm.
and I just thought she did such an amazing job. And it's like when I was doing my scenes with her, it literally just felt like she was my mom, and like I'm just talking to her, like she's annoying me, like I'm like mom, like like stop asking
Mhm.
me the same things. Like it was just so like relatable. It was so real, and it felt so good. And I think she did such an amazing job. So.
I was lucky enough to sit through the auditions. I actually watched Osmara audition. I got to sit through all of the auditions, and I got to read. First time I've ever read in my life was with uh her name. What's her name that played our mom?
Mari.
Uh,
Ma-
Mari. That is that her. That's not her. That's what we
Her
call her,
name.
Mari.
That's her name.
Okay, Mari. I'm never gonna forget that again. So I got to watch her do her scene, her audition, and I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking that's her, because my mom is mean like that. That's how my real mom is. Like my real mom is, I didn't even, you can't even hug her too much because my mom don't like that. You know what I mean? Like my mom's old Mexican mom, and she was perfect. So it was really cool to watch. I was because I was so new to the process, I was
Hmm.
paying attention to Crystal and Dana and Ken as they're watching these people audition, and then I could see in their eyes how they just glanced at each other like, okay, that's one. Okay, that's another one. It was an amazing process to watch, to witness. Like Osmada's performance was, I mean, just phenomenal. You killed it.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
really did.
literally came straight from the airport to that audition. By the way, I came in the airport. I wore my audition outfit and
It
I went straight to the
it looked like it. No, I'm kidding.
audition.
That's
No,
hilarious.
really. I didn't Kimani, I was called one day when they said, I think, didn't we speak on a Zoom call, Kimani? We talked on Zoom, I think. You and I met on Zoom before I ever met you. That's when
For
they
when we had to do
when
a table read or something, like
you and I had to read. Yeah, we hadn't met
yeah,
before that. Because
yeah,
I didn't see your audition.
yeah. I think we did.
He
I
auditioned.
I,
I
I
saw his
table
audition
read with
because he
everybody.
auditioned. I read for his audition.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
awesome,
you
man.
sure did,
You.
man.
So let me ask you guys. I know the film's already out. Everybody can go watch it. Tubi, Google Play, Prime Video. Um, and you said it took about 9 days to film. Was it 9 days in total, or was it longer than that?
No, it was 12 days in total.
Okay, 12 days in total. From the time that from the time that you started, and then the time that you guys beyond rapping, and then everything was edited, and you guys got it up on these platforms. How long did that take? How long has it
Ooh.
been since you guys have been together?
So we wrapped in March 20th, I believe. And then I got a call on a Saturday afternoon, like, we're live in October.
Oh
I
wow.
was like,
Okay.
yeah, I got a text saying like, yo, we're live. I was getting ready to go to another premiere, and somebody's like, yo, you got to go online. We're live now. I'm like, no way. I was late to the red carpet. I was like, I got to see this. It was amazing. Yeah. So from end of March to end of October.
Okay. So roughly about 10 months. No, 7 months. 7 months.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, because it was near my birthday. It was, yeah, it was like right before my birthday. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
dope, man. And you guys literally knocked out a film in 12 days and through the editing process, and it came out.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Crazy.
Um, so the film was shot on location in Watts, correct?
Hmm.
That was one of the locations.
We had
Yeah.
That's
one
one of the.
location in Watts,
Okay, what
another
was the
one
other?
in downtown LA.
Downtown LA.
Yeah.
Can you guys speak to keeping that authenticity of showcasing where you're from? So maybe that's
Well,
you, Crew.
considering that I'm the only one from LA.
Yeah.
Although, by the way, you guys look like you could be from here now. Okay, you guys are now
Yeah,
acclimated to our culture here. Um, you know what? It was really neat. It was amazing to be part of something that really embraced our culture, and I mean the LA culture, because black
mhm,
and brown is LA culture. Like
right.
I've been all over the East Coast, all through the South. You can ask Kimani. Kimani, how much black and brown is in New Orleans? Not too many.
There's
You
a
know what
lot
I
of
mean?
black. It's black and white in the South.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in New Orleans specifically, and I'm very familiar with Louisiana, there's not a lot of black and brown. LA
Uh,
is black and brown. We embrace that. We if anything, we represent mixed race culture. You know what
yeah.
I mean? I love that about it. So it was amazing to be part of something that was so real. It
Right.
really did hit home. And not to mention that it pays homage to Watts. I'm from Pacoima. I grew up in Pacoima, which is probably 30 miles north of Watts, right?
Okay. Uh huh.
Same neighbor, same type of neighborhood, basically same ghetto, different area.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
it was it was really neat. It's been an exciting year. So Fight for Love. I'm not sure if Crystal shared this with you, but it's my first acting job ever. Like
Oh, so this is your first time too?
my
Okay.
it's my first time ever acting ever. Like
Wow.
like ever. You know what I mean? So it was my first time producing a film. I mean, I'm in business outside of the entertainment industry. I have businesses. So I understood producing it was not going to be hard for me because I understand how to make a business run.
Right.
Um, but the acting aspect of it, I was intimidated by. And because I have one of these obsessive personalities where I have to be good at something, like I can't do it mediocre. I completely just dove into this thing like, all right, you're an actor now. I literally had conversations with myself in the shower. You're a motherfucking actor now. Oh, can we curse on here? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
Right?
ahead. Go ahead.
I literally was in the shower one morning. It took me, Crystal and I spoke actually, wow, what's today? The 21st?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a week. It would have been a year ago next week when her and I spoke at 11 o'clock at night when she sent me the script. This, yeah. So she sent me the script and I'm like, yo, this is not my thing. I appreciate you considering me for it, but I'm not an actor. She's like, well, will you just read the script and let me know tomorrow what you think? I read that script that night and I sent her a text back. I'm in. I
Right.
I had no clue how I was going to do it, but I knew that I had resources and friends that are prominent actors that if I asked for help, they would help me, right? So for me taking on this project, I am now obsessed with the industry, not for fame, but for the art of being able to be somebody else,
Right.
right? For being able to convince people that I'm that person.
Yeah.
That's man, I get a little emotional thinking about it, but to be able to partake in a film and include my son, my oldest son, and bring him,
Yeah.
not just put him in the movie, make him he's been training since he's 19 now, but he's been training since he was little. And he's got a scene with Kamani in the movie. And to watch him take this as serious as he does anything else as a father, it was like a monumental moment in my life. Right? It was one of those things where I'm like, this is why the universe put this in my path. It wasn't for me. It was it was for me to experience that. Sorry guys.
No, you're
So
good.
so to to summarize it, this movie opened. I'll just summarize it this way. I've done 4 movies this year.
Wow.
I did this film that's on Amazon Prime. I did Deadly Desire that's on BET Plus. I did Paradise 3, which is a horror film. They shot that in Belize. That's on Paradise. No, excuse me, that's on BET Plus. And I just wrapped a horror movie where I play a character named Billy that would never be me in real life.
Yeah.
It's nuts, and wait till you guys see it. It's so to answer your question, Fight for Love, I think is pivotal in each one. Pivotal, I can't even say the effing word. It's that catalyst that we all needed. And
Yes.
we only have Crystal to thank for it, because if Crystal wasn't as persuasive as she is, and if she wasn't as invested as she is in her skills as a writer and in her skills as a person, I would have never partake. I would never partook.
Right.
It just wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been for me, you know.
That's
So
awesome, man. That's awesome.
this film, when I tell you is special, it's special in so many ways. Look at Osmara. Osmara, how often do I message you like, kill that shit? You're killing it. I love,
Every
I
time.
love, I love watching people involved with this project. I love watching people in general really succeed, whether it's personally or whether it's professionally. But
Right.
when it's both, and you could see it on their face in their posts, you can see that the simplest post, something has changed them.
Hmm.
That's the most amazing thing to witness. You know what I mean? And that's what this movie did for us. I think this movie really took us to a place that we all needed to be in. Because like now I can say I'm not just an actor. I'm a paid actor, right? I'm
Right.
a pay I'm a paid actor, and it feels amazing. Like it's crazy. I get messages from random people on social media like, "Oh, I watched your movie. Oh, do you?" The biggest question I get is, "Yo, can you really jump rope like that?" I'm like, wait, what? Can I really jump rope like that? Like, yeah, Mover, there's no CGI. That's me doing it. You know what I mean?
I do my own stunts.
I get that. I got that question so many times. It's crazy. But I do think that this movie, not I think, I know this movie was so instrumental in each of our growth. I mean, Nate Gaston, the fighter we're talking about,
Hmm.
just fought for a title. He didn't win, but the guy's, I mean, he's just a phenomenal person. If you
Yeah.
would have met this guy, the energy he brought to set was, I mean, phenomenal. Same body structure as Kimani. I mean,
Yeah.
virtually identical, besides one's lighter, one's darker, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal, phenomenal athlete, phenomenal person. And the synergy we had on set, guys,
Yeah, man.
I'll never forget it, ever.
Definitely won't.
Man, that is
Yeah.
dope, man. Yeah, I'm really happy for you guys. I wish you all the best. I'm going to be rooting from the sidelines and watching your each one of your careers as it grows and blossoms. And I know you guys are going to take on a lot of major roles. Being that this is purely still quote unquote the beginning for you guys, man, this is a good head start. I'll tell you that. Um,
Thank you.
and I know that for each one of you, there's going to be much more to come. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for sharing your time, your expertise, your knowledge. And like I said, I'm rooting for all of you guys. Um, Fighting for Love, Fight for Love is an amazing movie. You guys go check it out if you haven't already. Catch it on Tubi, Google Play, Prime Video, and I'm sure they're going to be in plenty more TV shows, movies as leading roles, leading characters moving
Yes,
forward.
sir.
We're gonna
Yes.
push that into existence. And guys,
Thank
thank you
you,
so
man.
much for joining. I appreciate your time.
It was good seeing
Thank you
y'all too
so
Thank
much
again.
for
thank you
having me.
guys so
Yeah.
much.